people aren't silly. We can say to somebody, is your goal these days to live as long as possible? And if that's the case, well, what are the milestones that you're looking forward to? What are the important things for you? And how realistic are those? And is there a backup plan? So I'm thinking now of a lady who I looked after who had really terrible lung disease. And she wanted to live as long as possible because she lived in England and her granddaughter in Australia was getting married next year. She wanted to get to that wedding. Now, this lady was already using oxygen for almost all her activities around the house because her lung disease was so severe. So there was no way that she was going to be able to travel at cabin pressure to Australia. She would have died. So we had to think about that really important milestone in a different way. And she started to think about, she had photographs of her own wedding, and her granddaughter wanted to be able to have a proper old-fashioned wedding bouquet like her grandmother had had. So she was able to send her wedding photographs to her granddaughter to show the florist in order to have a bouquet that looked like grandma's. We were able to plan how she'd be able to see a live stream of the wedding. And we were able to have a plan of, if you're not actually even still alive by the wedding, what will be the gift that you already will have bought and wrapped and have ready for the bride's parents to take to the wedding on your behalf? So she's starting to think about, if I'm not well enough to get to the wedding, would I still want to live as long as possible? Or would that change my plans? Where's the balance between length of life and the quality of the life that you're living? And other people are perfectly able to tell us, no, actually, it's not about length of life for me. It's all about how well I'm living. Well, what does good quality of life mean for you? What are the things that are most important for you? What are the things we need to do now so that you're living your best life? And can you envisage circumstances when those goals might change? So this lady lived to see the wedding. It was the first time I'd actually ever heard of a Facebook live stream, because it's a long time before COVID that this happened. I didn't know that was possible, but she went to that wedding, she dressed up, and she sat in the middle of the night in her living room attending an afternoon wedding in Australia. And she had a wonderful time. And then she said, it's okay, I've been to the wedding. I don't want to have complicated treatments anymore. Next time I'm so sick that it looks like I might die, I don't want to come into the hospital. I don't want to have that horrible high pressure mask thing on my face anymore, and my arm full of needles to have antibiotics. Let me go. It's all about how well I live. And then the granddaughter got pregnant. And the whole thing changed all over again. I need to live to see the baby born. So this isn't a once and for all conversation. This is a conversation that comes and goes, comes and goes. It's still like a dance, isn't it? Where would you set the balance? And as life changes, the balance changes. And so substitute decision makers need to keep dancing. They need to keep coming in and out of these conversations. And that's why the conversations can't be about treatments I would refuse. They have to be about what really matters most to me, so that at the point when the substitute decision maker is involved in making decisions, the conversation is about what's this person's values, what really matters to this person. What really matters is her quality of living, is about being able to be with her family, it's about being able to watch her garden grow. Oh, okay. Well, we could take her into the intensive care unit. We could put her on a ventilator. It'll stop her from dying this week. But the chances of her getting out of hospital alive are almost nil. She will not see her garden. She will not be surrounded by her family at home. Is that wrapping our care around her values? No, it isn't. But actually what we could do is have her awake enough and comfortable enough in bed that she can have somebody walk around her garden with a video camera and show her spring happening in her garden. She is too frail now to get from the hospital back to her home, or her support needs are too great for her to be at home. But she can have that last walk around her garden. We can do that for her. And that's so much more important than a ventilator and an intensive care unit.